Going to my mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. Last night on the television, I was on a telephone rapidly rising and with I don't know. COVID has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's why reflected in the NHEI. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foot in the brigade of seas, ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. NATO's purpose is to defend against aggression. Let me make that near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. I don't think as the idea that political coverage. I want to thank and recognize Dr. John Kingersong. I can't get this to function at all. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Is it safe? Is it safe? I've been reading News 24, and apparently there's racists behind every corner. Everywhere you look, there's a racist. Someone didn't get a bribery key. Racist. Someone didn't get a free beer. Racist. You didn't compliment that person because of their skin color. Racist. Racist everywhere. Watch out for the racist on Heritage Day. Well, Propaganda 24 finds itself in the crapper on Heritage Day, needing to apologize for its fake news, its rush to judgment, much like the Ramon Cabanach and the Ronaldo Jose stories. Another propagandistic yellow journalism media organization has been called out, calling nonsense. Propaganda 24 went after Jan Braai with racist allegations, and they were completely, of course, wrong. Surprise, surprise, not. Once again, folks, not even remotely surprised. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. It's about time that these fake media stories start getting exposed for the fraud that they are. Sounds like he's in a can. You mean still it sounds like I'm in a can? What are you talking about, man? You mean still it sounds like I'm in a can? It does sound like I'm in a can. That sounds better. That sounds better. Oh, much better. That sounds better. Oh, much better. All right, there you go. That's better. Thanks for the heads up. I don't know what's going on. Maybe this microphone is getting old and it's tired or something like that. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. We're going to get started. We're going to talk about this Jan Braai story. Ronaldo's already put a video up on it, and I'll probably put one up later on when I have time. Monterey Siebert's in from Cape Town. Good afternoon to you, John Jarvis. Welcome, John. Sue Walsh, Teresa, Dylan Combrick, Thomas Gosling is in from Brisbane. All right, welcome. How's it going down under? Come from a land down under. Women, men thunder. Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. Oh, copyright strike. Ants would like me to send out greetings to Merle, his sister who's visiting from Cape Town, whom he loves very much. Merle, welcome. And I guess all of his love, all of Ants's love to you. And I hope you're having a good visit to PE. Thank you for watching the program. Tell your friends about us. Erica, welcome to you. Gus, Antisocial. Let's see. George, Hendo's here. He forgot all about Heritage Day. Well, I can understand that because it's Braai Day. Yep. Robert Franklin Moore says hello from PE. What's left of Heritage Day? That's true. And then, what's this? Val Cooper. What did Val say? Hey, Val, welcome to you. And Charles Van Olsen, the voice of reason, is here. And Hendo said it sounded like I was in a can. And Mark Purchase, Dylan Combrick. It sounds better now, right? I heard it. Let me listen over here again. Make sure. Combrick. It sounds better now, right? I heard it. Yeah, it's got the dead sexy voice back. Should I switch to my radio voice? Good evening, folks. You're listening to WMPO, Middleport, Pomeroy, Ohio. This is Chris in the country. Welcome back to our program this evening. Yes, the microphone has gone wonky at times. It's all the ranting from the rugby. That's right. You got it. Spot on. Let me take off my Tegela hat. I had to play that My Mind's Going Blank video because I couldn't find the damn hat. I had to look for it. Alrighty, folks. Welcome back on Heritage Day in South Africa. And I'm wearing kind of a heritage jersey. Isn't this apropos? This is some Khoisan running around, pre-rugby days out there. Some athletes and traditional sort of stuff. This is the Sevens jersey from the World Cup. This is actually stitched. That's not printed. That's real good quality. Springbok Sevens. This is also stitched. This is printed, unfortunately, but I'm not going to wear it out. So beautiful jerseys. These were fun, lovely. I got this when I was in Cape Town for the Sevens in 2022. It's basically changed Heritage Braai Day to Racist Lie Day. Exactly, antisocial. Spot on. Racist Lie Day. Exactly. We're going to have to use that. Racist Lie Day. Dylan says, I'm not in your country, says Colonel. Yeah, Dylan, I know I'm not in your country. What are you getting at, man? Devette Martins, welcome back to you. So I would share this drink with you, this V8 vegetable juice, which is like really tasty, good, healthy stuff. I love it. Lots of good vitamins and minerals in it that I need for my healthy body as a growing young boy. But I'm afraid if I share this with you, it might be considered racist. So I'm going to share it with myself. Sorry, excuse me. Very good when it's cold. Erica likes Jersey. Allison, welcome to you. Yeah. Hey, folks, let's get into the news. On Braai Day, Heritage Day, in South Africa, day created on the same day that was once celebrated by the Zulu in KZN to honor the King Shaka of the Zulu. And they were angry, didn't want to participate in Heritage Day initially because they were angry that that day was taken. This holiday was added, though, to represent all cultures and languages in South Africa to celebrate the diversity of South Africa's people. Not a bad idea, if you ask me. I think we should get rid of Asian Pacific Islanders Month, Black Americans Month, Black History Month, Latin American history, Hispanic history. Well, get rid of it. And we can have one Heritage Day. We can celebrate Polish Americans, German Americans, English Americans, French Canadian Americans, Nigerian Americans, South African Americans, Russian Americans, Jewish Americans. We can celebrate all that. One day. We should have a Heritage Day and get rid of all this other nonsense. Just get rid of entire months devoted to people for supremacy of their group over everyone else. Gina Mullen, welcome to you. William Fundervalt, welcome back. Okay, so Jan Braai, accused of racism. And of course, this is all rubbish. Once again, searching for racism wherever you go. This is trying to cancel white South Africans. That's what this is all about, folks. This is stoking social discord and trying to cancel white South Africans and destroy white South Africans. That's what this is all about, whether it's Ronaldo or it's this nonsense. Jan Braai denies racism at shopping center in Tiger Valley. Master Breyer, Jan Braai, and retailer Food Lovers Market have dismissed claims of racism following an incident at Willowbridge Shopping Center in Tiger Valley on Saturday. First off, ladies and gentlemen, there was no incident. This is trumped up, fake news. This is yellow journalism. This is reprehensible, irresponsible reporting and lies. These people should be taken to the Equality Court and charged with their criminal injuria against Jan Braai and against the Food Lovers Market. I'm sick of this garbage. I'm sick of it. It's time to strike back. Start using these courts to go after these clowns. They use the courts over fake nonsense. Look at the South African Captured Human Rights Commission's lawsuit against Ronaldo Khoisan, knowing full well he didn't break the law. But they still rubbish his reputation. Take them to court. Bankrupt them for their bigotry and racism. Destroy their false narratives and destroy their effort to eviscerate racial relations in South Africa. It's about time that people go after these scumbags. This after Jan Braai, his real name Jan Scannell, allegedly only handed out free currywurst rolls to white shoppers, overlooking customers of color. First off, the video is of one customer of color and a colored person, not customers of color, a colored person. And that person got the roll. But of course, they edited the content once again. Once again, edited content. Scumbag fake media. After a color man waiting for Jan Braai to acknowledge him went viral on social media and has since been deleted by Food Lovers Market. In a joint statement, Food Lovers Market and Jan Braai said they were aware of the allegations and only selected shoppers received the boerewurst rolls. However, the allegations were baseless. We enjoyed a lovely day out at Willow Bridge store, giving customers a taste of Jan Braai currywurst. Shoppers from all walks of life had great fun sampling delicious free boers. We're aware of allegations making the rounds that only selected shoppers received them. This is simply not true. The allegations based on uncharitable interpretation of a single video was a small snapshot of the day. Anyone who's there would find the allegation laughable. We removed the original video posted, though, because it was a poor reflection of just how successful the Inclusive Day was. Screw you and your inclusiveness. This is what you get from inclusiveness. False allegations of racism at every corner. People were included, of all races. Anyone who showed up got free food. And the reward for that, giving out free food, is to have your reputation tarnished and rubbish. Take them to court. Sue their asses. Go after them. This is bullshit. And start doing it here in this country too. Stop this rabid, rampant racism from leftists. Among the scores of social media users who spoke out over the video was the National Colored Congress PR counselor Anastasia Stacey Davids, who said, whether people want to shy away from this, a lot can be read in Jan Braai's behavior. No, you doofus, moron, dipshit, dingbat, doorknob. Anastasia Stacey Davids. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You just run your racist mouth right out of the gate. Racism, 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 racism. We will not tolerate your National Colored Congress lies any longer. You will be exposed. When I'm done with this video, I will research who you are and we will expose you for your hatred and your race hustling. I hope you enjoyed your Braai day, Stacey, Anastasia, because you have exposed yourself for all the world to see. Your bigotry, your racism, your jumping to conclusions because someone had insufficient skin pigmentation to satisfy your twisted, warped worldview. We do not condone this behavior, and we will remain the voice for the voiceless. We will not allow microaggressions. You are the microaggression! The National Color Congress, you are the microaggression. You are the race hustlers. You are the hate merchants. You are sad, pathetic, self-wanking losers. Losers. On Facebook, Mavis Vanny Lewis wrote, it's not right that our colored people are excluded from Jan Braai and Food Lovers promotions. Well, they weren't. They weren't, you lion sack of horse feces. They weren't excluded, you lion, slimy crime merchants. Cloud Mullins said, Jan Braai is anti-Heritage Day. People Braai your own sauces. Leave and support. See, it's about canceling a successful business because you're penis envy, because you're losers. You've never accomplished anything in your freaking life. Not a damn thing, except race hustling. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Oh, Claude Mullins. Leave Jan Braai alone. Well, screw you, you race hustling slime merchant. Leader of the opposition to Western Cape, ANC's Khalid Said, said the party noted the allegation leveled against Jan Braai. We are seriously concerned if indeed these allegations are true that only white patrons were offered roles. Notwithstanding this, our deeper concern is with the atmosphere of racism. You see, now,
they take a statement and they say it correctly, if true, but then they just deeper concern with the atmosphere of racism become the norm. Yes, it is the norm. With the ANC, with the National Colored Congress, it is the norm. It is very much the norm. You are race hustlers. Everything's about race. You're denied this. You don't have that. You're a loser. Start succeeding on your own merit, you useless pieces of human filth. Unbelievable. So, News 24 has corrected their race hustling, criminal injuria, slander, libel, because it was video, libel, because it was in print, libel. Correction, CCTV reveals colored shopper received burial from Jan Braai, quashing claims of racist incident, which you stoked, which News 24 propaganda promoted this. They are the race merchants in their behavior. They also ran a false story about Ronaldo Khoisan, still not admitting that the press council has found the IOL guilty of multiple ethics violations in the reporting of that story and the altered video. Getting all hung up about the terms AI. Forget that nonsense. Ronaldo explained why that term came about. It was an altered video, intentionally released in an altered state to create a racial climate to target Ronaldo Khoisan for a video previously aired in 2010, removed in 2013, 3 years on social media, and this wasn't an issue. And then a story covered by South African media about young South Africans who are not happy with the new dispensation, white, black, and brown. Ronaldo was in the video. He was interviewed, and they showed parts of that video in 2012. And then in 2019, when they tried to blackmail him over the story, it was debunked then. Only for the video to be released on the day he was sworn in as minister. And people are up in rage. He's a racist. Oh, you're a bunch of dumbass shitheads is what you are who believe that nonsense. You haven't got the thinking capacity of a pissant, someone that actually believes that nonsense. You know nothing about Ronaldo Khoisan. You know nothing about the story. You didn't watch the video. And I don't hear this parsing about you can't say those words. Grow up. Sticks and stones may break your bones. Words will never hurt you, you childish little whiny biatches. Grow up. Grow up. Unbelievable. Let me finish the correction from News 24. The newspaper of record today, surpassing the Independent line, they've won the title of toilet paper of the record. That's right. On Monday, News 24 published a story based on Food Lovers marketing video after people experienced the video as racist. People experienced the video as racist. Well, I experience you as a bunch of dumbasses. Does that make you dumbasses? I guess it does, because that's my experience. Propaganda 24 is a bunch of dumbasses. So guess what? That must mean you're dumbasses, because that's been my experience. Yeah, people experienced the video as racist. So that must be a story. We approached Jan Braai and angled the story around his denial of the racism claims that stem from the video, which were already in the public domain. Covering their ass there. As soon as the more fulsome CCTV footage came to light. By the way, that stuff's in the public domain. Yeah, I got a copyright strike from that dipshit in Cape Town. What's his name? Odudis, Dumbass. Odez gave me a copyright strike 2 years ago for a video he didn't own. And YouTube upheld that. Yet News 24 says it was in the public domain, which is what the other video was. I digress. As soon as the more fulsome, complete, CCTV footage came to light, we updated the story. In hindsight, News 24 should have insisted on seeing full CCTV footage of the event before publishing a story about the honestly held views of readers. Oh, no. So they still claim it's racism. The honestly held view of readers. No, it's not honestly held. You created that view with fake news, with fraudulent broadcasting, with lies, with slander, with libel, with criminal injuria. It's not their real views. You generated those views. You created the racist views in those people's minds because you used a fictitious story. This is garbage. Sue them, Jan. Destroy their business model. Take them down. And Ronaldo, get your attorneys busy on this too. News 24 should have insisted on seeing the full CCTV footage of the event before publishing a story about the honestly held views of readers. Horse manure. based on partial footage released by Food Lovers Market. Oh, so they blame Food Lovers Market for it. We apologize, Jan Braai and the other individuals involved. Editor, no, not sufficient, not sufficient. Criminal injuria, slander, lies. Time to pay up, time to pay up. Get your wallet out, News 24. Get your wallet out. Yeah, get it out. It's time. Oh, baby, it's time. It's raining, man. Hallelujah. Yeah, get the wallets out. Get your wallets out, Propaganda 24. Get your wallets out. And this $6 isn't going to cover the damages. Jan Braai, don't roll over and take it. You go after them. Ronaldo Khos, you go after them. Ramon Kabanak, less of an argument, but you can go after them too. Stop putting up with this nonsense. Food Lovers Market has released a video showing Master Braai, Jan Braai, did hand a free Boerewors to a person of color, contradicting claims. No. He handed a Boerewors to a colored person, not a person of color, you morons. We're all people of color. Is this not a color? Are you blind? Are you stupid? Are you morons? Super chat from ZCM. Thank you for £2. Are you that dumb? This is a color, morons. We're all people of color. Stop your bigotry and racism. The person is a colored person because that's a ethnic classification. We're going to talk about that today in the context of the Khoisan king, by the way. Yep. In the video clip, Scannell is seen handing out. Anyway, the clip sparked allegations of racism. Yes, because you intentionally stoked it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, once again, racist. You're ruining a Braai day. Well, folks, this is where you go. You want to check out his site and support Jan Braai, you're welcome to do that. And I encourage you to do that. I've had no interaction with the gentleman. I don't know him from Adam, but I do not like people being falsely accused of things that they're not by a bunch of scumbag haters, a bunch of lying pieces of human feces, like the scumbags who claimed that I was a Klan member after I saved 640,000 black Africans from starving to death. Shut up, morons. White classifies as see-through. You mean transparent. All right, so there you go, folks. Jan Braai. There's the link. Home of the National Braai Day. Welcome to the online home of Jan Braai, your ultimate destination for everything Braai related, founded by Jan Braai. The National Braai Day initiative encourages South Africans to unite around fires every 24th of September. Read about the popular range of Jan Braai commercial products, Boerewors, books, Braai equipment, sauces, and salts and wine. All products are available at major retailers nationwide. And it's 0 days to National Braai Day. It's today, folks. Yeah, they've got commercial products. Here we go. Let's go. Here's Boerewors. Let's take a look at that. It's a very slow connection. There we go. Well, that's a very slow website. I can't buy anything from there at that pace. Anyway, South Africa's Elon Musk has met with Cyril Ramaphosa in New York. Well, watch Elon Musk, who just bent over and took it up the backside from Brazil and collapsed despite his argument to use a free speech platform to censoring Brazilians. He's now agreeing to censor Brazilians based on whatever the government tells him to do. Watch and see how he sells South Africans down the river with Starlink in South Africa after kissing Cyril Ramaphosa's ring. South African-born Elon Musk hails great meeting with Cyril Ramaphosa. Yes, Elon Musk going to sell us all down the river again. Yep. Pictures from the meeting were shared on Musk-owned Twitter by the president himself and the government and Elon Musk, who said it was a great meeting on his own page. There you go. Great meeting with Cyril. Cyril addressed the South Africa USA Business Forum begging for $2 trillion in investment. Guess what? You're getting nothing. You're getting nothing, and you'll be happy about it. Not investing in your corrupt country. Stop your racist laws, and we'll consider it. Well, remember the young man who was murdered in a hit? Nothing to do with what happened. A whistleblower in a company was meant to be the target, but these morons, including a 30-year experienced detective, were too stupid to murder the right people, so they murder an innocent young man. The cop was released on bail after murdering someone. Killer cop linked to Transnet whistleblower hit has been rearrested after bail breach. Why was he bail anyway? Michael Pouletau, a police detective with 30 years of service, has been rearrested in a guns-for-hire case that placed him on the wrong side of the law. Tao and 2 others are accused of killing Armand Swart in a case of mistaken identity, a hit intended for his colleague. The botched hit came 2 weeks after Swart's company filed a confidential whistleblower report. A confidential whistleblower report which was leaked to criminal syndicates involving police officers. Do I need to say more about South Africa, ladies and gentlemen? Veteran detective Michael Pouletau, the nexus of an alleged hit squad linked to the killing of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart, a father, by the way, 24 years old, has been rearrested and criminally charged for violating his bail conditions. Why was he on bail? After being denied bail, he launched a fresh bid in August and was released, ostensibly placed under house arrest, and was barred from leaving his home without first notifying an investigating officer. But now he's behind bars after an unannounced visit to the house found that he was not there. Yeah, and this is the victim, this innocent man, young man, just out fixing things as an engineer. Wow. The firm discovered an innocuous railway component, a simple spring no larger than the finger that was produced and sold for 3 Rand 20 was being sold to Transnet for 152 Rand per spring. The state-owned freight logistics company buying 8,000 of them, what should have been a 25,000 Rand purchase, was more than 1.2 million. And so they went out to kill the whistleblower, and they killed Armand Swart. I said 24, he's 30. Yeah, a father. And this guy was out on bail. He's out on bail. Why is a murderer on bail? Is it cater privilege? Is it cater privilege? 107 public works projects are now on hold because of the Auditor General's discoveries. The Portfolio Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure said it was highly concerned by recent findings by the Auditor General against the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. During the recent briefing by Auditor General, it was revealed that a total of 107 public works projects had been delayed at an accumulated cost of $3.9 billion. Robert Franklin Morris said, mainstream media has already tarnished Jan Braai's reputation in business. Chris, like you said, it's time for mainstream media to pay up. They should be sued for 30% of their annual revenue. Yes, Robert, they should be sued. They should be sued. And frankly, if this conduct shouldn't be tolerated, should be put out of business with this behavior. While some Government of National Unity partners celebrate Heritage Day, the EFF and MK describe it as hollow. Their feelings are hurt. They don't want to celebrate the diversity of South Africa's kaleidoscope of peoples. They want to wallow in self-pity. Yep, that's right. MK party spokesman Ndela said the party laments the hollowness of the public holiday. He said the day was meant to celebrate the unity and diversity of the nation, but instead starkly highlights the deep-rooted injustices that remain unaddressed. He cited the violent dispossession of land from black people and the consequent inequality as the reason for snubbing. Now, let me just put something in context very clearly here for everybody. The violent dispossession of land from black people was initiated and perpetrated centuries before Europeans arrived by black people, dispossessing and stealing and raping and murdering other black people after they'd done the same to the Khoisan. So this nonsense of black people being dispossessed needs to stop. If you want to talk about people being dispossessed of land, then let's talk about the people who had their land taken from them illegitimately during the apartheid regime or from the native lands after 1913, which affected mostly black South Africans, but affected Indians, coloreds, and even whites who had their land taken away. This racist narrative of black dispossession of land. Hey, you're the ones that started the wars, the Khoisan. You started the wars. 9 of them. The Brits started a couple. Violent dispossession of land. How do you think the Nguni-speaking peoples arrived in South Africa? Did they just pitch up on the beach one day? They hopped on a boat in Dar es Salaam, which wasn't there, sailed down the coast of East Africa, said, no, Delgado Bay, no, it's not for me. Let's land here. And they landed on the east coast of South Africa. They just arrived in boats. And of course, we all know that they invented rugby there, right? Well, Chris, you missed my rants about the fake news, propaganda, and the destruction of a brand. It's time to sue Propaganda 24. Jan Braai should be suing them. Anyway, and this clown from the MK party is a nobody. He's a nobody. Well, Paul Mashatili's recovered from his heart incident, or passing out, whatever it was. They looked after our heroes. Paul Mashatili salutes African nations for welcoming South Africa's fleeing apartheid. Nick Gross, 35 Rand. Thank you very much. Africa's riddled with black on black slavery. Not limited to South Africa yet. No attention paid. Well, it's paid by me because I'm a genuine historian. South Africa celebrated Heritage Day today as acting president Paul Mashatile, because Cyril's off begging for money in New York, paid tribute to several fellow African countries that opened their doors for South African activists and freedom fighters during fleeing the brutal regime. He was giving a keynote address in Vicksburg in the Free State. During Heritage Month, remember those who fought for our freedom. Many of our freedom fighters died in Zimbabwe, Zambia, and others were killed in this country. Some of them, their families have never been able to identify their graves. They just disappeared, so we need to celebrate all those heroes. As our heroes come back for a reburial at home, let me take this opportunity to thank more sincerely the people of Zambia, Zimbabwe, Angola, Tanzania, Mozambique, Lesotho, Botswana, and many other countries that welcome our brothers and sisters. Excuse me. United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, United States, Canada also took in Soviet Union, also took in people who left apartheid and gave them succor and refuge and educations and livelihoods. What about us? What about us? Oh, by the way, Heritage Day is not about your heroes, your supposed heroes. Heritage Day is about culture in South Africa. It's not about your war memories. It's just as much about the concentration camps and the crimes against humanity committed by the British against the Afrikaner and Boer people and the black South Africans in the Anglo-Boer War. It's just as much about the wars fought between the Khoisan and the Europeans, the Boers, the farmers, and the British. It's just as much about the Mfikane. It's just as much about the arrival of the Nguni peoples and dispossession and displacement of the Khoisan people as it is about your heroes during the struggle. It's about all of that. It's heritage. This is the problem. Instead of speaking for the entire country, Paul Mashatile chooses to speak only for ANC cadres, only for ANC. That's who he cares about, not the entire country. He's completely disregarded every other ethnic group, every other history of South Africa, every other story. He should be celebrating all of it. I've done more to promote unity in this country in the last 90 seconds than Paul Mashatile did today. He promoted division and separatism. If he wants to celebrate those things, he should celebrate them in the context of a wider discussion about South Africa, not simply that. Well, the Khoisan King says that colored people don't embrace Khoi ancestry, and that's probably true. His protest now is 7 years at the Union buildings. Khoisan King says that the term color was introduced by the apartheid regime to categorize the Khoi and San people. Now, that's partially true, Khoisan King, whom I've interviewed. Fascinating gentleman at the Union buildings. Yep. The Khoisan King is incorrect. That's a partial truth. That term was created to identify people who were a mixture. It wasn't identifying just the Khoisan. It was also identifying the offspring of Dutch and Khoisan, Dutch and Xhosa, Huguenot, German, and all those folks, and the mix of people. And it was something that came up before apartheid, but it became a classification term under apartheid. And colored people, many of them are proud of their heritage. But he is correct. Many colored people do not realize or recognize their Khoisan roots. Most of them have some sort of Khoisan root. And that's sad. And people should do something to restore that. I agree. In November 2017, Khoisan S.A. and his family walked from the Eastern Cape to Pretoria to demand that the president recognize the Khoisan people as the country's First Nation and add the language as one of the official languages, return ancestral land, and scrap the word colored as the apartheid government imposed it to categorize Khoisan. Well, I agree with some of what he has to say. They should be recognized as the most recent original inhabitants of South Africa. They predate all other groups that are in South Africa, but they aren't the first inhabitants of South Africa. Hominids lived in South Africa for hundreds of thousands of years before the Khoisan ever came about. So, yeah, they don't get the claim of first. They are the first amongst those who are currently there. Others have died out. Well, braaiing, that's what it's all about, eh? Well, Cyril Ramaphosa hails the government of national unity as a second miracle for South Africa. So your collusion and division of the spoils is a miracle for South Africans? I don't think so. He warns against perpetuating colonial mining patterns. Colonial mining patterns. Well, so what are colonial mining patterns? Colonial mining patterns are where the government controls the resources. That's kind of what you have today. He said that South Africa and Africa's critical mineral sector has played a crucial role in the move away from coal to renewable energy. No, it hasn't. South Africa recognized the importance of collaboration with other countries. The U.S. in particular has established expertise in mining, advanced mining technologies, automation, sustainability. Interesting. Well, by focusing on basic extraction, not on beneficiation and value-added processing of minerals, Africa is missing out, losing out. Well, that's your problem. We're not the ones that didn't tell you not to build smelters and produce steel and refine products. That's you. You did that, not on us. You haven't been you haven't been a colony for decades. If you can't sort that out on your own, that's your problem, not ours. Affirmative will set the record for all-time test for a Springbok when he plays on Saturday in Nelspruit. It'll be his 128th test as a Springbok, and he's still in his prime. Wow, that's incredible. Affirmative become the most capped Springbok when he lines up against Argentina in the title-deciding rugby championship class at Umbombela Stadium in Nelspruit. Yep, there you go. Congratulations to Affirmative. Well deserved. Tributes are pouring into a rugby player who died after being tackled and getting a broken rib. Wow. Ashwell Sauls died. Young father's ribs were broken, puncturing his lungs and leading to his death during a match between his team, the Robertson Rangers, and the Montagu Villagers on Saturday. Wow. Thoughts and prayers to his family. That's a tough loss playing rugby. Ouch. The United Kingdom and the U.S. and Norway are not happy about political will in South Sudan. Well, of course not. We've poured billions of dollars into this money trap. Yep, 72% of South Sudan's population requires humanitarian assistance. Wow. On Saturday, the Troika capitals, as they fashioned themselves in a joint statement, said the development was a collective failure of South Sudan's leaders to create the conditions necessary to hold credible and peaceful elections. The only solution in South Sudan is to remove Salva Kiir and Riek Machar from the equation, all of their leadership, take them out of South Sudan, put them on some island somewhere, let them live in peace, and then create a government in South Sudan. That's the only solution, folks. It ain't going to solve itself. Lofty goals in New York are fine, but Africa needs money, says the African Union. Well, you got plenty of resources. Start making money. Yep, the world has big goals, as laid out in the Summit of the Future in New York. The AU says the continent is keen to help achieve those goals, but needs money. So you came begging. That's what it was. You came begging. That's what it's all about. Hands out. More soup, sir. African Union Commission Chairperson Musa Faki Mahamat addressed the Summit of the Future. Please, sir, more soup. You must give us more soup. The $1 trillion you've given to Africa, we've pissed down the drain. It's all gone. Give us more soup, please, sir. More soup. Well, Joe Biden is awakened at the New York summit. Apparently amphetamines are magic drugs. In his final UN speech, Sleepy Joe addressed the wars in the Ukraine, the Middle East, and Sudan, drawing on the long arc of his pathetic career to stress that progress is possible. Well, really? Progress is possible. We didn't need progress. We had progress before Joe Biden became president. We've regressed. Well, Brazil's X-ban spells trouble for free speech, folks. Trouble for free speech. Brazil's X-ban, VPN fines mark new internet battlefield, free speech advocates say. Brazil has imposed a $8,900 a day fine on anyone trying to get around the ban using VPN software. But things are not looking good. So people trying to get around it, and they're going after them in Brazil. Meanwhile, Telegram has caved in to the French illegitimate demands. Pavel Durov, writing on his Telegram channel, said that they've updated their terms and conditions, but they're only going to respond to valid legal requests. Really? That's what the social media companies in America said when they censored people's speech illegally in violation of the Constitution at the behest of the federal government. Now, social media companies censoring your speech is not illegal, provided they don't violate the terms and conditions that you've both agreed to, which they did. So it is illegal. But they can censor you if they don't violate the terms. However, if they do it acting as an agent of the federal government to achieve a federal government outcome and silencing a citizen's speech, it is a crime. It is a crime. And that's what's going on here in France. So, Telegram has agreed to disclose users' phone numbers and IP addresses to law enforcement agencies in response to valid legal requests. Pavel Durov said that 99.999% of Telegram users have nothing to do with crime. The 0.001% involved in illicit activities create a bad image for the entire platform. It's not clear if he made a concessions as a result of pressure from French authorities who detained him. Of course that's why. They're threatening this guy's liberty. Durov said, no innovator will ever build new tools if they know that you can be personally held responsible for potential abuse of these tools. Exactly. Why would you build anything? That's like, why build a plane if you're held culpable for someone misusing the plane? Why would you make firearms if you're held culpable for someone misusing it, or make automobiles, or make V8 juice if someone, taints it and you're responsible? You're not responsible. In Dalton, Natal, many Germans still reside and speak German, strong farming communities. Not just there, Heidelberg, ja. Elenskal in der Nähe von Rockstrift. Dort habe ich viele deutsche Familien gefunden und die sprechen fließend Deutsch als Muttersprache in Deutschland. Die sind 4. Generation Deutscher in Südafrika. Und jedenfalls, die sprechen immer noch Deutsch. Ja. Okay, so, free speech under assault. Well, Nebraska has made a decision which could harm Trump in the election, but frankly, it's the right decision. If they wanted to do this, they should have done it sooner. Nebraska is one of 2 states, along with Maine, which proportions its electoral votes. The other 48 states is winner take all. So key Nebraska legislator says no to winner take all electoral college proposal and bucks Trump allies. Senator Mike McDonnell, a Republican from Omaha, put the issue to rest after a hearing from allies for former president. After deep consideration, it's clear to me that right now, 43 days from Election Day, it's not the moment to make this change. 100% agree. If the Trump campaign wanted Nebraska to change state law so that it's winner take all, they should have done this a year ago. And there's a super chat from Guardian Prepping. Wow, I didn't know you were still around. Looking sharper than my sharpest knife. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Thank you for the 70 Rand super chat. We're getting late in the month. Nebraska is right not to change election law 43 days before an election. That's nonsense. Now here's some good news, folks. Here's some good news to end race hustling and racism. A judge blocks a transportation department racist policy to advantage women and minorities. U.S. District Judge Gregory van Tottenhove wrote that the plaintiffs probably will win the lawsuit against the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program. In a 28-page opinion issued yesterday, District Judge Gregory van Tottenhove wrote that for now, the scope of the injunction is limited to 2 plaintiffs, both transportation contractors, at least 2 states in Kentucky and Indiana where the contractors operate. But in reaching that decision, he wrote that the government failed to justify the program and that the plaintiffs would likely win on the merits of their constitutional claims. And this is what he said, because the 14th Amendment ensures equal protection under the law. The court is keenly aware of past discrimination that certain groups of people have faced in this country, and the court is sure that the federal court has nothing but good intentions to remedy past wrongs. But remedying those wrongs must still pass constitutional muster. And thank you for your membership, Guardian Prepping. But remedying those wrongs must still pass constitutional muster. The government cannot classify people in such a manner that violates the principles of equal protection. In other words, you can't disadvantage men and white people to the benefit of other people just because. That denies equal protection. And we as citizens have been treated as less than equal. I saw it in the Army where it affected my promotion twice because of racist policies in the U.S. Army and Department of Defense. And I've seen it in society with affirmative action, which is racism. The Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program is at least the 4th such program in recent months to be enjoined on constitutional grounds. In March, a federal judge in Texas ordered a 55-year-old minority business development agency to open its doors to all, including white entrepreneurs. Last summer, they've capitalized white. Stop that. Don't capitalize black. Don't capitalize white. It's an adjective, not a noun. Last summer, a Tennessee judge ruled that Small Business Administration 8 Alpha program for minority contractors could no longer presume certain ethnic groups were inherently disadvantaged, a key requirement. Yep, these are fractional lawsuits against these racist laws in America, which are being struck down, finally, decades after the harm they've caused. Donald Trump says he doesn't trust the DOJ or the FBI to investigate the assassination attempts against him. Nor do I. We see that the Department of Justice is even willing dangerously to not redact a letter calling for the assassination of Trump again. Ryan Ruth, the attempted assailant at the Palm Beach golf course, who hid for 12 hours because the Secret Service failed to do basic security checks on the perimeter, hid in the bushes and concealed, had a rifle within striking range of the president. They claim it's success. It's an epic failure again. And then they release his letter. We wait a year, 526 days before we're able to finally see the manifesto of the transgender wackadoodle who murdered 6 Christians, including 3 children, in Nashville in March of 2023. First, we were told that it would harm the investigation. Then we were told that it might inspire other people to harm transgender people. Well, the transgender person is the person to harm people, not the other way around. Then we're told it's copyright protected. Finally, the Tennessee Star produced the manifesto so we can see what was going on in the mind of this transgender mentally deficient individual. For 526 days, we couldn't find out. But the president of the United States, someone offers a $150,000 bounty to kill him, and the Department of Justice publishes a letter in the public domain for people to see that? Are you serious? Do they want Trump killed? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I've started a new segment. It's called Code Red with the Colonel. Strictly political, strictly conservative issues. I will see how it performs on both channels. Code Red, the Code Red vlog. The Code Red vlog. I've started it now. The first edition was published last night. I hope you like it. If someone's good with graphics, you can help me come up with a better thumbnail for it. But that's my thumbnail for now. Code Red vlog. Yep. And that's going to go on my Podbean as well. Yep. So Trump doesn't trust him, and I don't blame him either. Well, a looming dock workers strike. The stevedores are going to screw us on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast. They're going to strike, and it will cost the U.S. economy $5 billion per day. 100 billion rand per day it's going to cost our economy. If it lasts for a year, it would cost us 6% of our GDP because they're greedy little bastards. Businesses are preparing for a strike by dock workers on the East and Gulf Coast. We're already suffering because the Port of Baltimore is still hampered by the bridge collapse. It will be on October 1st. That's the Port of Baltimore back in 2018. Of course, that's not quite that busy these days because of the bridge going down. Some importers have already started ordering Christmas goods 4 months earlier than usual to get them through the ports before a labor contract between the operators of port terminals and the International Longshoremen's Association expires on Monday. Many shipments have been diverted to West Coast ports where dock workers belong to a different union that agreed to a new contract. The ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles say they're handling as many containers as they did during the pandemic shipping boom of 2021-2022 as businesses tried to prepare for this ridiculous strike. Speaking of useless workers striking, Boeing workers have turned down a 30% pay rise. A 30% pay rise. Greedy bastards. Striking union rejects Boeing's best and final offer of 30% wage hike. The union said that Boeing was damaging the negotiation process by taking the offer directly to workers without telling its committee. Well, screw your union committee. The workers deserve to know what's going on, not their corrupt union. The offer includes a $6,000 ratification bonus, reinstatement of performance bonus, and improved retirement benefits, plus a 30% pay rise. 33,000 greedy workers want to strike on September 13th. Wow. They want a 40% pay rise, and they're not going to work. Are you serious? Well, remember when I covered the shooting in Colorado live at the shopping market, this grocery store? Well, that gunman has finally been convicted. He killed 10 people at a Colorado supermarket. Remember when that story broke? What was the first thing? Just like News 24. Same thing. The media. A white supremacist MAGA supporter guns down people of color at a Colorado grocery store. That's what they said. That's what they said as the story unfolded. I went live and covered it. The video is still available on my original channel. I covered it in Boulder, Colorado, September 2021. I covered it. Actually, on this channel, not the original channel. I covered that live. That footage is still there. And I rubbished claims of racism. First off, the first time we saw the guy, he looked like he was white because we saw him from a very far distance being bowed into the back of a paddy wagon armored car after he shot 10 people. Every victim he murdered was white. And then the story died. The story completely died. When they couldn't lie and claim it was racist, the story just died. Well, it was racist. It was an Arab American murdering white people because they were Christians. Mentally ill man who killed 10 people at a Colorado supermarket. He wasn't mentally ill when he shot them. Defense attorneys did not dispute that Ahmad Alisa, who has schizophrenia, fatally shot 10 people, including a police officer in the college town of Boulder. He pled not guilty by reason of insanity, but that didn't work. Didn't work. Prosecutors said Alisa was sane. They argued he didn't fire randomly and showed an ability to make decisions by pursuing people who were running and trying to hide from him. He twice passed by a 91-year-old man who continued to shop, unaware of the shooting. He came armed with steel-piercing bullets and illegal magazines that can hold 30 rounds of ammunition, which prosecutors said showed that he took deliberate steps to make the attack as deadly as possible. His family, who immigrated to the U.S. from Syria, testified that he'd become withdrawn. Well, he's going to jail for life. Yep. Shame. They used to have the death penalty in Colorado. I guess they don't anymore. Yep. Well, Maryland is filing their case against the shipping company from Singapore. Maryland files its claim for damages over the Key Bridge disaster. The state attorney general's office said the government and Maryland residents suffered tremendous costs and damages after the Dolly container ship careened into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, killing 6 people, all illegal immigrants working on the bridge. Well, I don't know if they're illegal. They claim they were. The media, I don't know. But they were immigrants, they claim. But we don't know if immigrants are actually immigrants anymore because the media lies about it all the time. Well, they destroyed that bridge over the Patapsco River. Well, TikTok creator is angry that her content was used to promote Kamala Harris. TikTok creator slams use of her video during the Harris town hall. A creator in TikTok slammed the use of her video that was aired during Oprah Winfrey's town hall, with Vice President Kamala Harris saying she's made it clear that she's not voting for Harris. The creator's TikTok username is Blair Allison, posted the video on Saturday mocking the way Harris speaks while objecting to how her video was used on the show. So I got my 4 seconds of fame on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and of all the people to be our guests, let me show you who it was. The video then shows a clip from the interview that aired with Harris. I don't understand how people are affording life right now. To my Americans, let me make something perfectly clear, okay? I do not support Harris for president, okay? I want to be unburdened by who has been in the White House the last 3.5 years, okay? As I stand here today on this stage, standing on the stage today, the day after yesterday, I just want you to know, okay, how I stand and how I stand today is that I do not support Harris for president. She said she had no idea the clip would be shared in the interview. I said, I wish there were rules in place where national television shows must be granted permission before using creators' content. Well, there are rules in place. It's called copyright. They cannot use your content without getting your permission or paying you for it. So, young lady, Blair Allison, sue whatever network that was because they stole your content. They didn't even contact you. Jan Fidelin says, Heritage, I shudder to think what ANC thinks Heritage is. MK Camps and Quattro. Yeah, there you go. Most people on Kick and Rumble are Trump supporters, says Pablo. He can withdraw all he likes in prison, but it's a shame he won't have his life withdrawn from him. Yep. All right, let me go back and say hello to people in the chat. That's the news for today. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button. We're only at 78. We have predator gangs roaming our neighborhoods as we speak. After we get rid of them, I'll watch Rugby and perhaps even Braai Day. There you go. Problem is false news throws innocent people in a hole where they don't deserve, says Dan. White people probably classify as see-through, says LS. Why do they call Aliko Dangote Africa's richest man? Isn't it Elon Musk? No, because Elon Musk is an American citizen now. That's why, Pablo. Aliko Dangote is a Nigerian citizen. So that's why. That's why. Chris says, it's our duty to call out racist news. Please advise viewers. Yeah, it is. LS says, no, it's transparent. Not English, not my first language. That's fine. Unfortunately, the courts in South Africa are thoroughly captured by African nationalists, and so victims to such circumstances are very little recourse. Actually, William, we've already seen people win those cases. Unfortunately, the judgments aren't reasonable. They're ridiculously low. IOL is already facing a lawsuit from the damage it did to an Indian lecturer in KZN, falsely claiming that he was the voice behind that account, and they published his information, made him a target, people calling for his death. I'm going to expose these other people. I'm going to expose them. Any information is available publicly, I'm going to share it. That's not doxing. That's not doxing. I'm going to show their views and what they do. Yep. Ulrich enjoyed the Braai. The wind played up in PE. Okay. Yeah, rearrested. Why was the guy out on bail? Elon should check if his Rolex is still on his arm after the handshake. Well, I agree with you. I received a text here. Let me make sure it's not a political campaign. It's something I have to deal with here. Just a second. So, okay. Yeah, it was something I have to deal with, but it's not repressing. Mainstream media is already tarnished on Brai's reputation. Yep, already got that. Okay. Different tiers of law depending on your race. Okay. 107 are not enough. Thanks for sharing your frustration too, Chris. Many of us feel the same. But no, Marius, I feel that way, and I'm not going to shy away from it. Just like if someone abuses someone because they're black, I'm going to protect the person who's black. If someone who's colored is abused, I'm going to protect them. When white people are abused, I'm going to protect white people. I stand up for the little guy who is a victim of abuse. No one should deal with this nonsense. 26 hours, power, no power. There you go. Table view. Escom says cable theft and equipment failure. MK and EFF are Janice. They don't want her. Yeah, they don't want. Okay. Pablo says just hire some grief counselors for these MK folks. I already read Nick's super chat. Thank you for that. Andy Social says the photo of Elon Musk and Ramaphosa seriously gives me Oliver Twist vibes. Yeah, exactly. Talking of rugby, Rossby has named his team for Nelsport. Yes, Sue, I did an interview earlier for our segment with Megaphone with MV Velman. If you go watch Megaphone Rugby, you'll see that, and you'll hear what I had to say about it. I'm not happy. We can talk about that now that we finished the news. So here's the lineup for that game. At fullback, it's Afia Fase, who did okay last week. Cheslin Colby on the right wing. Jesse Creel and Damien Dealende back in the center, the dynamic duo. Kurtley Arnse on the left wing. This is where I have a problem. Monty Libick at number 10 and Jaden Hendricks at number 9. Nope. Jasper Visa wearing the 8 jersey. Peter Steph Toy 7. Sia Khaleesi 6. Happy with that. Rowan Norkia, Ebenetzabeth 4 and 5. 5 and 4. Franz Malherba, Bongyam Banami, Oxenche. I'm good with that. Off the bench, Malcolm Marks, Gerhard Steenekamp, Vincent Koch, Elric Lowe, Quagga Smith, Kobus Reinach, Andre Pollard, and Lucan Yoam. I'm okay with all that. But the starting combination of Libick and Hendrickson, that's going to go well. Yeah, pure angelic kingdom called Wakanda. Yeah, I heard that story. Mashatili would not pass out if he had more mixed to us. You have all those YouTubers talking about Irania all day long for views rather than educate themselves on how to invest to make a living for themselves. Exactly. Yes, Charles, the Nguni-speaking people jumped on their magnificent Nguni ships and traveled all the way down the east coast of Africa. That's correct. Nobody ever speaks about Mfecane. Well, I speak about it frequently. Also say it's ironic that you have an airport named after a mass murderer who executed every one of his concubines who fell pregnant. Historical revision of Afro-Nats engaged is so absurd that I just find it. Yeah, it is. Chris Stain, hey, welcome, Chris. Mark Purchase, Cyril will probably get a $1 stuffed couch. People just make crap up. The problem is most African tribes never had written history. So, yeah, exactly. But there is good history written on it. John Laban writes very well of the history. The Khoisan are the closest related to those who were 100,000. That's true, Tian. Closest related, but they weren't here. Griqua and Basta heritage has also largely been neglected and even forgotten to a large extent. I know, and I talk about the Nama, the Griqua, and the Basta. I'm still waiting for a callback from a descendant of Hendrik Witbooi to have a conversation about the Nama and what happened to them and their conflict with the Germans, to talk about the Nama. Yep, I talk about colored history. I talk about the Griqua, talk about Bastas. Yep, Rehoboth Bastas frequently. I'm one of the few commentators that actually does that. Okay, what happened there? My tab crashed. That's interesting. I never had that happen before. A tab crash inside a browser. Usually a browser crashes. That's fascinating. Wow. Okay. Well, hopefully this thing will come back. And it did. That's really weird. Okay. So, yep. Myra Page is here with a new avatar. That's pretty. It looks lovely. I like it. Garrett Gillich. They're talking about hip-hop designer clothes. Okay. Nick Groves is here. We already said that. Chris, do not miss your rants. Rewatch them all the time. Okay, Chris, I'm glad you watched my rants. I hope you like them. They were powerful today. What about my family and friends from the Bush War? Or does this make me... No. Yeah, part of your heritage, Franklin, is the Bush War. It is. Actually, for today, when I wrap up, I want to do that. Let's do that now. Hang on a second. I want to get that ready for it, so... see.
Tonight's not just a...
That's an advert. We got to wait for that. I'm just getting something set up for when I finish the stream in a bit. Or actually, we could play it before we finish the stream. But I'll have to delete it after the fact. Shouldn't get me a copyright strike, though. It's just a copyright claim. Yeah. I want South Africa make NFL-type National Rugby League. I don't think National Rugby League is popular there. I've never seen anybody play it. These holidays are useless for economics of the country. It's a waste of time. I don't know, James. It's nothing wrong with celebrating heritage. Yep, nothing wrong with celebrating heritage. And you're welcome to celebrate your heritage in the Bush conflict, as people are welcome to celebrate their heritage in Mfecane, or celebrate their heritage fleeing from Mfecane, or celebrate their heritage of trading with the Chinese, whatever it is. People, that's what the day is supposed to be about. I love the way the AU whines about Western imperialism and invention, yet continue to beg U.S. for funds. Exactly. And then blame us. Remember Cyril Ramaphosa? Vaccine apartheid, vaccine apartheid, vaccine apartheid. There's no vaccine apartheid. That's all in your head, dingbat. In Natal, many Germans still reside. Okay, that's where we were. Okay, and then Guardian Prepping, thank you for your super chat. Chris says, like when you speak foreign. Well, I speak English foreign. Different version of English. Nick doesn't know much German. Okay, cane farmers down there do bloody well. Okay. And then who else we got here in the chat? Ulrich Fenters says, beautiful part of the world. Used to spend a lot of holidays in Harburg, around the corner. Okay. The region around Bergville, near the Drakensberg, is so beautiful. Yeah, no, Bergville is absolutely gorgeous. I've stayed in a lodge there in the past. Any race-based law is racist by definition. Correct, Mark. That is correct. Trump might not make November. Well, the vet, some people are saying that, but we'll see. He was in PA yesterday. That's correct, Tendo. Who said she never left? What's this? Okay, Mike says, yes, sir, Hendo. He was in the Keystone State yesterday. Okay, northwestern part. Okay. Wasn't Code Red something in the U.S. Marines? Yeah, no, that's nonsense. You're thinking about A Few Good Men, a Code Red. No, that's just nonsense. Code Red stands for a lot of things. It means danger. Yep. She needs, okay. You should get Charlie Kirk and Red Alert. Well, yeah. How do I get Charlie Kirk on? I'm not a fan. And he and Ben Shapiro and what's her name there? What the hell's her name? Anyway, gosh, I can't draw names up anymore. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, the chick married to the white guy, the black chick. Yeah, they only travel in their circles. They don't let anybody else inside their tent. Wartburg and Dalton have lovely dams on the farms themselves. Okay. Well, I don't go to Wartburg anymore. The hotel closed. Okay, been listening to a while. Agree with all the stupid holidays should be condensed and celebrated once. Okay. As you know, the new energy ammonia is crap. It produces water vapor, which is a greenhouse gas. Yep. It does cause global warming. Antoinette Thomas. Candace Owen. Thank you, Antoinette. Thank you so much. I don't have a hard time with names the past several months. I hope I'm not going senile. Yep. Yeah. Candace Owen. Thank you. Yeah. They only let people in the tent that they care about. They don't open the big tent up to everybody. Their Turning Point USA is a bunch of nonsense. It's comical how they exclude people over the age of 30 when they're over 30 themselves. Anyway, so we started off this broadcast talking about the nonsense taking place with the Jan Braai criminal injuria and slander that took place in Propaganda 24. What's that? Nick just gave a super chat of 14 Rand. Thanks, Nick. Times must be getting tough, Nick. Nick used to give a bunch of memberships out. Now he's getting 14 Rand super chats. I hope that you're not in financial distress there, Nick. I'm not asking for more money. I'm hoping that you're not in any trouble there financially. But yeah, this Jan Braai nonsense. Just anything to be racist. So IOL runs the story with it, but they try to cover themselves a little bit. But News 24 ran the story and claimed it was racist. They have to print a correction. And the correction still tries to claim it's from people's experience. They experience it as racism. Well, they experience it as racism because you intentionally created the conditions for people to experience it. These scumbags see racism behind every bush, every tree, because that's what they are. They're bigots and racists. Yep, absolutely. Pathetic. It's pathetic. These people are beyond redemption. Beyond redemption, ladies and gentlemen. Sad and pathetic. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, something important for the veterans thing. We need to get a piece of documentation to get open. Call Chris Biden. Who is Chris Biden? Huh? Putin should close his mouth about Israel. I don't know what Putin's saying about Israel. He's got other problems. He should focus on his own issues. That's not something he should worry about Israel. He's got real issues to deal with. Anyway, so for Heritage Day, I wore this jersey, which is kind of heritage base for South Africa, Braai Day. I hope you all had a good one. I know that Jan Braai didn't have a good one because of the slander that was directed against him. I'll do a video on that, folks. Definitely going to do a video on that. So I hope that you tune in for that, and we'll see how it goes. But this is unbelievable. In fact, I'm going to have to go out and film myself hiding behind the bushes. That's what I'll do for the video. Hiding from the racist. Debbie says, thanks, Chris. You're welcome. Erica doesn't look at people's skin color. I look at their hearts. Well, I'll be honest. I judge people based on their character and their conduct. However, if a woman's a hottie, she gets a little more leeway. She gets a little more. I know Ronaldo did one scientist. She gets a little more leeway. I said at the beginning that the story came to my attention because Ronaldo had done a video on it. Yeah, if she's a hottie, she gets a little more leeway. I give her a little, okay. All right, so just saying. So if those, the boredom I see, they get a little more of a free pass than anyone else. Just saying. Anyway. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let me look at some of the comments here. I got comments that I didn't know were coming in on some of these other videos. John Jarvis says the following. He said, having watched the... says, having watched the complete video, this is the comment I left. He wrote, he must have left on Ronaldo's channel. Hi, Ronaldo. Having now watched a complete video and digested what was spoken about, I've come to the conclusion that the DA wanted this to go away, and your hearing was just following the process. Once the process was complete, the actual predetermined judgment was handed down in order to calm the political waters. Agreed, John. The same could be said for Rahman. Having said that, when you mentioned the fact that you had declared that you had forgotten the incident, my heart sank, which proved to be true in the final statement of aggregating factors. In my opinion, if you wanted to use that word, then you should have used it with a qualifying statement such as, I've forgotten about that because obviously you may have expanded. Okay, I don't understand where he's going there. Anyway, but that's a comment from John Jarvis. So I didn't really understand where he's going there in the end. So on my code red last night talking about Merrick Garland releasing that letter, encouraging people to assassinate Donald Trump. Stom San said, does Garland have a pager? That's not funny. That's not funny. Candace Owen isn't part of the Daily Wire. No, I didn't say she was. I said she was part of Turning Point USA. Yep, that's what I said. I don't know if she isn't anymore, but she was. Can food lovers... Yes, they can. They can, G. Sawyer. Absolutely. They can sue. They can sue for criminal injury because their brand has been injured. It's slander. They can sue for slander. And they can sue for criminal injury. Absolutely. And I recommend that they hire counsel to do that. Yep. Why was Ronnie Lamola at the Musk meeting? He should walk the talk. I think Ronnie Lamola needs to go find some affectation outside of government, to be honest. The guy's a dingbat. Garland is still bitter being... Yeah, exactly, G. Sawyer. That's exactly what's going on. This is all revenge because the Senate... He didn't get approved by the Senate to be... And Trump, it wasn't Trump. It was during Obama's time. So a scumbag carries a grudge for a very long time. I've been wronged by many people in my life. Many people have wronged me. You don't see me seeking revenge against any of them. Karma. I leave it up to karma. Take the Indian approach that namaste. Let karma take you out. It's not for me to do. Ramaphosa favors Ronnie Lamola's successor. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Not that lightweight. Yep. Anyway. Yep. Not a lot of people watching that one video. A little surprised. Is it even going over 1,000 yet? Nope. 770 people. That's it for that. Code red. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway. God and die Mauser. Yeah. Let God sort them out. God knows who they all are. Exactly. That's the right approach. By the way, another sucky day for solar, man. It's been overcast and cloudy here forever. Nick says, sorry, Colonel Chris. I cocked it up. The super chat. Nothing unusual. I have a laugh. I don't mind there. I fixed it. Okay, well, thanks for the additional 70 rand. I thought maybe you were going broke. I don't want to hear that. So this is how it's gone for the past several days on my solar. It's not pretty, folks. It's all going downhill. Cloudy weather for days now. Look at that. So the high one there, and look at every day successive since then. Boom, 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 down to nothing. So on September 19th, I got 36.6 kilowatts. September 20th, 32. And then 14 on the 21st, 13 on the 22nd, 3 yesterday, and today it's 3. God. That's killing my solar production. My electric bill was back down to $20 this month. It was $70 last month. In the previous 3 months, it was $0. Yeah, in other news, garage sale, the baby will dealers. Penny and Tulsi Gabbard are possible rolling upcoming. Okay, Pablo Charlie, I've talked about this many times. I don't like or trust Tulsi Gabbard at all. I don't trust her judgment. I'm not impressed by her at all. She's just a shiny penny because she's a Democrat that spoke out and said the right things. I mean, if Democrats did that, generally speaking, then we would never know who Tulsi Gabbard is. She was a minor, nobody member of Congress from Hawaii, and she was a major in the reserve component. Who did one combat tour, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not speaking ill of her. I don't dislike her, and I'm glad she's endorsed Trump. That's good to see. However, I'm not impressed by her. She has a habit of running off of the mouth without facts, which a lot of these people do, politics. And so I'm just a little circumspect about Tulsi Gabbard. But a role in the administration, yeah, I think that she should get one. She's doing a lot to help Trump right now. Unfortunately, South African people do not sue enough, so it costs. Exactly. That's why I said they got to go sue them. They got to go sue them. Win one case, use that money to sue the next one. Destroy them all. Destroy them all. They should be held accountable for their nonsense. I mean, the South African Captured Human Rights Commission tries to hold people accountable for crimes they never committed, going after Eben Etzebeth, going after Ronaldo, going after all kinds of people. Any momentum is welcome. There you go. Yeah, you're right, Mark. People just don't do it. Anyway. Opinion on Tulsi Gabbard. So Pablo Charlie, that's my view on Tulsi Gabbard. By the way, she's not one of those hot chicas that would get a free pass. She has to make her case. Anne-Marie. Hey, Anne-Marie, where have you been? I haven't seen you in ages. Remember when you got married? You lucky, Chris. Some people get snow kilowatts in South Africa. Well, we're going to get snow here again soon. It is now September 24th. It will snow maybe late October, a month from now. Certainly in November we'll get snow. What's this? Had to clean the solar panels the other day. They get very dirty from the rain. You got to be very careful when you clean the solar panels, how you do it. There's a special way to do it. I'm not going to clean mine. I might have a service do it because my water is highly mineralized. I don't want to use the water and then it leaves a sheet of, calcium carbonate or something like that on top of it. You got to use the right stuff for it. The rain does a pretty good job of keeping mine clear, and the air pollution here is minimal, so it's pretty good. Our electricity rate's gone up ridiculously as the water, litter picking, refuse is costing more than my bond. That's crazy, Debbie. But my things have gone up too. So my electricity used to run from 70 to 125 a month normally. They give you a letter. They send a letter out and they show your house size in comparison to comparable homes in the area. And habitually I've come in, you've got same, worse, you got worse, same, very bad, worse, same, excellent, and outstanding. And I've always come in usually almost always at excellent and outstanding with far less energy consumption than similar sized homes in this area. Despite that, my bill was $70 to $125 for electricity every month. So $100 is going to be 2,000 Rand. So it was about 2,200 Rand a month for electricity is what it cost me in the summertime. In wintertime, that bill is usually about 1,700 Rand, 500 less, maybe a little less than that, 1,600 Rand. But then with Biden coming in and destroying the energy market and confidence in the energy market and spiking inflation by sucking money out of the economy, trillions of dollars, it's no longer available for people to borrow, the rates went up. And my electric bill got as high as $275 a month, $150 more, which is over 100% increase. They came along and offered the solar panels. The only thing I have to do is pay their loan off. It's not my loan. Pay it off with a monthly payment, which comes out to about $100. So 2,000 Rand. Now, if I generate enough electricity, because when the panels are running, I draw that electricity and any excess goes into the grid, fed back. The excess energy fed back through the transformer. That's not right word for it. Anyway, back through the grid, then I get credits. And this month I got $90-some worth of credits, which if I hadn't got, my electric bill would have been well over $100, but instead it was just $20. So it all comes out in the wash though, because I come out slightly ahead this month because I still had to pay the $100. So my bill was about $10 less than it would have been. Eric has just gifted 5 memberships, one to Mike, one to Helen Rich, one to George, Chugsy, and Osina. Osina's here. Okay, I didn't know that. And I don't know who Chugsy is, but welcome. Rich, congratulations on your membership. Got 4 more to do. Nick says Erica's bloody heroin. Well, you guys got me saluting all the time. Americans don't understand that Jamaican is a nationality, not an ethnicity. Well, I recognize that, G-Shore. It's a station. Chinese is not an ethnicity. It's a nationality. Yep. That's why when they said Trump banned Chinese from coming to America, he was a racist. Well, Chugsy, congratulations. You can't be a racist against an ethnicity. You can be a bigot, but not a racist. So you're still waiting to see the true benefits still apparent. Usina, yours as well. Let me get back to that. No, I've seen the benefits. I had several months where I had no bill, but I still had to pay $90. But ultimately, when I come out, it's going to take a few years to build that up. But yeah, so I used 8.9 megawatts of electricity in the 12 months preceding when they were going to build this. So I have to wait till November 1st because even though they installed on October 13th, they didn't install something properly. They had to get it approved and everything. And then the day they turned on, it didn't work because there was a safety switch that hadn't been done. They turned on remotely, so someone had to come out and physically switch that over. It's a safety mechanism, a physical one on a system which they left in place. Anyway, so November 2nd will be 1 year. So November 1st, midnight, I'm going to go out, or when the sun goes down, and look at it. If I don't have 8.9 megawatts of power generation produced, not consumed, but produced, then I will not have equaled what I was supposed to get. Supposed to get 8.9 per year. Part of the problem is they installed an 8 kilowatt system, but it shuts down at 6 kilowatts. It never gets 8 kilowatts. And I contacted them, and they haven't responded back to me. When the system wasn't first turned on, they did respond within minutes, within a couple hours. But now it's been months they haven't responded. I have to call them back. It's very irritating with this company. But anyway, so if it was producing 8 kilowatts, I would be soaring because I've lost 2 kilowatt hours per hour of electricity generation every day when we've had the sun out for a year. That's a lot of energy. I mean, that's 20% more energy. I should be over 10 megawatts this year, not 8.5. It should be at 11. But anyway, I'm at 8.5 megawatts, which you probably can't see there very well. There it is right there on the side, lifetime. That's since it was installed. So that's my basis on November 2nd. If that number does not equal 8.9, which it should, because I've got all of October, I'm going to generate 300 or 400 at least in October. Plus I got another week in September. So I got 5 weeks to beat. So I should surpass it. So yes, I'm seeing the benefits of it. And I like seeing lower electric bills. So I'm only on solar for power, no Escom. Well, I'm in it because the scheme that the state set up requires the whole process, and that's how it works. So the way it worked here in Pennsylvania is for years they've been charging us a small charge for solar on our electric bill. I'm like, what's this for? Well, I found out all that money goes into a fund. That fund is used to subsidize the installation of residential solar photovoltaic panels, which are expensive. Then there's also federal tax grants, and then there's state grants on top of that. All of those combined make it feasible and financially viable, illegitimately, in contrast to the market, for the installation. So what happens is that there's an installation company that sells you on the concept. They procure the equipment, they install the equipment, they turn it on. There is a finance company, Sunnova, which finances that operation on behalf of the installer, Trinity. Okay? And then there's me. So the panels are installed on my roof. I pay nothing up front. I never pay anything for the panels and the installation of them. The system is turned on. All the approvals are taken care of by the company, Trinity, with my home association, with the township, with the state, with the utility, Public Utilities Commission. I don't have to do any of that. As an individual homeowner, I normally have to do all that. But on this program, they do it all. I just have to give them authority to do it. They secure all that. They secure the people coming out inspecting it because the township and the utility have to come out and ensure that it's installed properly so I don't burn down my house. So they do that. And then it gets turned on. The loan is not my loan. It's not my name. It's not part of my credit history. It's a contract in which I agree to pay that back. And I pay it back at a rate which can increase as much as 2.7% annually, which is far less than utility. Like South Africa, they're increasing your electricity 36%. You'd probably kill to have a 2.6% increase. I'd like a 0% increase, but anyway. So that money pays back the financing that exceeds the credits that went to the Sunnova. And I pay that back every month. And the first few months, late last year, it was $96 a month based on how much electricity I was supposed to generate and the rate for the hours. So the rate I was being charged was 18 cents per kilowatt hour by the utility. The rate I'm charged with this program is 10 cents per kilowatt hour, almost half what I got. And it really doesn't matter what I get charged because it's how much I generate. So any excess goes into the grid. And right now I have zero excess because I burned through all that in July. July was a horrible month. I burned through 1 megawatt of electricity on the grid. That's on top of everything I generated through the panels that was used and consumed directly and fed back into the system. It's crazy. That's the funny on the next Trojan. What was this? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what Garrett's talking about. Yeah, anyway, so that's how that works. Moonchild likes this shirt. Yeah, this jersey is awesome. And this is cool quality stuff. That's stitched. That's a patch. That's not, same here. This one here, the Protea one. Yeah, very beautiful for Heritage Day. So anyway. Trump 2024. Okay, 36% increase. Yeah, it's insane. So mine went up 2.6%. So it's $97 this year. Next year, it'll probably be over $100. Be $100. National Rugby League. Oh, well, me for commissioner, then I'd sign up for that. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd actually love to have a role in rugby, especially if it paid. That would be really awesome. Really be awesome to get paid for it. Anyway, all right, so on Heritage Day, we're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to show you this. Nick Rose, another 70. Thank you for the super chat, Nick. That's funny. Your finger slipped. Yeah, so here we go. This is fantastic. What the heck? Oh, what's going on here? Sorry. There we go. All right, let's get this up on the screen. Okay, put that down. I'm going to do this. Okay. Need this first off. There we go. Okay, now we need this. Where the heck is it? I'm trying to find it now. My goodness. Things just getting out of control here. Okay, where the heck? That's not it. It disappearing here? That's not it. Where the heck is it at? I can't. Camera's missing. There it is. Took a while to find that. Oh, another 5 memberships. Okay, that's gonna be hard to follow. All right, here we go. Whew, man, that's a tough one. Always a tough one. Walk van Black, the cup line. For me, one of the memories of that, I didn't fight in the bush war in South Africa. I had my own conflicts, but one of the memories of that is the soldiers raking dirt. Oh my gosh. I had to rake rocks once a time as a soldier. So I had to go out and rake rocks. Can you believe that? Raking gravel just to live. And I also raked dirt. No leaves, no grass out there, raking dirt just to make the dirt have lines in it. Well, we used to paint rocks too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That, and then the other thing was really cool. I love in the video footage, some which taken from South African Defense Force, the old defense ministry, some of it's propaganda stuff for the ministry, but the mounted cavalry unit charging into the river. That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah, hurry up and wait. Very iconic saying in the Army. Yeah, it's for all armies. Yep. Let me go back. There's a few things I missed here. Sorry, I get emotional with that song because it takes me back. Not to the Donkabos in South Africa, in Southern Africa, but back to my experiences. So apologies, Antisocial, your membership, Gavin Comer, Buzz Lightyear, Freedom Through Faith, Dr. Haynes. Pablo Charlie's whining. Well, Pablo Charlie, Erica doesn't decide who the memberships go to. She doesn't pick them. YouTube does that at random. Charles Van Onselen. Let's see. So Erica likes to see me saluting. One more round, please. No, let's stop that. SA 330 Juliet. What a chopper. Yeah, Mark, it was pretty incredible. Goosebumps. Yeah. Goosebumps. Yeah. Brings back memories of 1980 Ondangwa, says Alan. Now, ladies, late. No worries about that. Song gives me so many memories, says Erica. Song stirs very strong emotions. Hendo, strap in, boys. Lock and load. Yep. Right up there with Amazing Grace, says Mark. It is an incredible song. Antisocial says best years of his life. Wow. Hide clap hard. Okay. Many, many memories, says Lynette Orr. Yep. Don't remember seeing any racism among SADF members when I was there. Just my experience, says Charles. And Levin Janssen van Rensburg, 40 Rand, super chat. That I played that for Heritage Day today. South Africa's Heritage Day is for all South Africans. White, black, brown, Zulu, Xhosa, Venda, Ndebele, Tswana, Griqua, Basta, Nama, Khoi, San, Afrikaners, Boers, whoever you are, however you identify. This day is for you, your Heritage Day, your Braai Day. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But it's not for the Liberation Era veterans. They are but one part of it. They do get to celebrate as well and celebrate their struggle, but so do the Afrikaners who descended from the victims of concentration camps, where thousands, tens of thousands of women and children were starved to death and died from dysentery and cholera. And the black South Africans who were put in those camps with them, probably 100,000 of them perished there, 80 to 100,000, completely overlooked by history. It's also to the victims of Mfecane and the victims of the Nguni invasion of Southern Africa, and to all the conflicts between Europeans and blacks, whites and browns and everything. It's about your culture. It's about your braaiing. It's about your use of the word robot incorrectly. It's not a traffic signal. A robot is a mechanical device that moves around. Traffic signals, by definition, are stationary. James Blees says, good music. Wearing my bush hat, says Richard. Okay. Full kit in the garage. Well, then you're ready. You're ready, antisocial. Thinking my boat 35 years in Satif, says Antoinette. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Okay. There's something wrong with that shirt. No rugby ball, was told Jan found them playing when he arrived. No, it's right here, man. Can't you see it's right over the top? See, that's the rugby ball right there. It was a different shape. That's the rugby ball. We're still brothers in arms. That's right, Mark. Once a soldier, always a soldier. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Yep. The next one will be grand. Okay. Few know what the cup line is. I know where the cut line is. I know what it is. It's quite hectic. I feel like a racist even thinking about Angola War, says Moonchild. And Tion says, thank you for playing the song. Well, it's Heritage Day. I had to play it. If you've ever been in the Army, no matter which army, you can relate to the song. Yeah, Charles, exactly. You see me? I'm kind of teary-eyed, choked up. Twinette says, exactly, Chris. Yep. Garrett says, what a leader you are. Still respect. Well, thank you for that. I am. And leading men and women in peace and in combat, something I've spent my life doing. Setting examples, treating people fairly, equitably, reasonably, justly. Courage, honor, and faith, and the faith of adversity. That's what it's all about, folks. That's what it's all about. Doing the right thing always. When no one's looking, you do the right thing. When no one's looking, you do the right thing. That's leadership. That's being in charge. That's doing what needs to be done. Devet identifies as a Toyota Land Cruiser. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't identify as a Hilux. I would identify as a 4Runner. I polish pavers with a toothbrush. Oh my God, Garrett, that's horrible. Yeah, I didn't have to do too many of those stupid things, but I did them in advanced individual training for Signal Corps because we had downtime before the course started, and there were hundreds of soldiers in the barracks, young soldiers, and so they had to find something for us to do. So they put us out on detail, gave us over to Fort Gordon, the post command, and we had to rake sand. Fort Gordon, Georgia is inland. It's heavily sanded, not proper soil. So we'd rake the sand, we'd paint the rocks. Oh my goodness. I was like, what am I doing raking? There's no leaves here. Nick says, if I was 35 years young, I'd follow my command sergeant major into battle basics. Never fully understood. Oh man, type me that. Attention detail. Gmail says, what's wrong? Wrong with what, Gmail? You missed it. We just played Bob van Blerk's Die Kaplan. I get a little emotional and when I hear that song. I get emotional when I hear the U.S. national anthem. So, I mean, I don't cry usually, but usually I have tears in my eyes. Particularly I think about how they've destroyed my country. Racist, leftist. Yep. Yeah, no. I'm a little choked up. We just finished playing. You just walked in. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. Okay, lady. What's with this tab? It keeps clashing. This is a new development. That's never happened before. That tab crashing. That's strange. We got 101 likes. Okay, that's cool. I've got to run into the veterans place after this. They made us run around like spanners because we were early in second phase, and then we did guard duty. Yeah, no, I did guard duty at Fort Leonard Wood in basic training, but that was part of the training. You were put on guard duty for training purposes, not really for guard. I guarded a motor pool that was inside a base that had fences and barriers and guards around it, and deep inside the base was a motor pool over near the woods with hundreds of vehicles in there. I didn't even know what they were, and I had to guard that because you have to learn. You have 3 general orders. I will quit my post only when properly relieved. I will guard everything within limits of my post and quit my post only when properly relieved. It's your first general order. You have 3 general orders. You had to know all of them. No, I'm fine, Gmail. I'm fine. Yeah. But thank you for your concern. Yeah, so in basic training, I had to guard this motor pool. It was cold. It was Fort Leonard, wintertime. They call it Fort Lost in the Woods. Man, it was, that was brutal. But I did my guard duty there. And then I didn't have to pull a lot of guard duty. I did pull guard duty as a volunteer once. We had something called, what was it? Something about post something detail. I forget what it was, but you had supernumerates. So you go on guard duty and you had to have shiny boots and clean haircuts and everything. And they would pick the people who were supernumeraries. And then you got to wear this cool shiny helmet and white gloves and a pistol belt. And you would stand there and direct people in the gate. It was so cool. And you only had to work like, a couple hours a day. It was awesome. Whereas the other people had to work guard shifts that were longer. It kind of sucked. I got picked for that. It was awesome. It's called like supernumerary, something like that, if I remember. Try to remember what the installation guard or something like that. Anyway, so I had to do that at Rose Barracks in Bad Kreuznach when I was a young enlisted soldier. And then I pulled that guard duty I mentioned during that winter reforger. I spent 14 hours on guard duty. That was miserable. That was not supposed to happen. They were failed in their job as NCOs to make sure I was okay. Oh, and there's Erica giving a super chat of 35. She said, we're soldiers of our own lives. Be brave, everyone. Okay. Yeah, and then, I did pull guard duty once voluntarily on actually 2 occasions. So in 1984, late 84, or I think it was early 85 actually, early 1985, must have been spring of 85, we finally got rid of our Jeeps, our World War II era Jeeps, and our M880 Gamma Goats. Look that up, M880 Gamma Goat, 2 words, Gamma Goat. Like in gamma rays, but a Gamma Goat. What a weird vehicle. Hooked together. Anyway, we had Gamma Goats and Jeeps and some other old trucks like Dodge M880 pickup trucks. Wait, did I get that wrong? Anyway, whatever. But look up Gamma Goat, you'll find it. So yeah, I think the M880 was the Dodge pickup truck. It was terrible. So we got rid of those, but they pulled them all out of the motor pool and put them down in the parking lot by the battalion headquarters, and they were out in the open, so they had to be guarded. Because you had to go through guards to get on the base, but then they weren't protected. People could have went and stole the batteries, stole stuff off them. So someone had to pull guard duty. Well, they asked for volunteers. And if you became a volunteer, you got like a 3-day pass. So, hey. So I volunteered like twice. It was cold, man. It was cold. I don't know if it was, maybe it was the winter of 84, or it was winter of early 85, but it was cold. And the only vehicles that had heaters in were the Jeeps. And only the Jeep for the battalion commander and for the sergeant major had a heater in it. The rest of them didn't have heaters, and they're open. So freezing out there. So I'm walking around, and you didn't need keys to start a Jeep. You just reach in and push the button, and it started. The only reason it wouldn't move is they put a chain on it, locked the steering column so you couldn't drive around. But you didn't need a key to start it. So I kept going through vehicles trying to find a heater that functioned. I found the sergeant major's vehicle, and I got in the sergeant major's vehicle, which was being turned in. It wasn't his anymore. And I started up, and she started, and I had a heater. Thank God. So every hour or so, I'd go over and start it up and run it for a little bit and warm up my hands and feet because it was freezing. But I got 2 3-day weekends out of that. Passes. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. Guard duty. Battalion OC came in, asked for identity. He wasn't happy, but gave me props for sticking to my job. Yeah, well, our battalion didn't have full colonels. Our battalions have lieutenant colonels in charge of them, and brigades have colonels, but we weren't in part of a brigade. As a battalion, we were a separate command directly under the division. So the division is who they answer to. So, yeah, just like the intelligence battalion. Only time I got serious goosebumps was Chris Stapleton singing your national anthem. Okay, all right, Antoinette. Cool. Conscious Caracal streaming. Okay, let me see if I can direct you to that after this. Let me just check real quick if that's even possible. I can't remember if he let me in there. Okay, so let me try that. So customization, redirect to Conscious. Why does it do that? Be nice. Conscious Caracal. Which one is it? I don't know which one he's doing. The ever accelerating 24/7. Oh, there he is. He's live there. Okay, got it. Save. Okay. So I'll redirect you over there. So when this is over, you can go to the Conscious Caracal. Okay. Let me get him up now so I can see it and see if anybody goes over there. Okay. Oh, there he is. Okay. He's got 60 people watching right now. So, all right. Oh, he's got Khoisan on there. Okay. All right. So we're going to wrap it up here because it's been a lot longer than I thought. Thanks, everybody. A lot of letters were redacted. A love letter caused push-ups. No doubt. I had a pen pal in the 80s. It was in the Army. I like to hear what happened at the border. Started to write short stories about him. I sent it to him. Good times. All right, folks. 81 of you, at least go over and say hi if you're going to drop off, but at least redirect you over to that, okay? So you can go over and check out the Conscious Caracal. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate being here. We'll see you tomorrow on the program. I'll be back. Tomorrow's news will be early because I have to do Wednesdays with the Colonel. We're back on Ronaldo's channel, okay? Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here. God bless.